but I do like the 2018 Optic Hollow, and I feel that that is a really good gold standard for Josh Allen.
Extending, and able to find Stephon Diggs.
It's gold. It's gold, baby. Gold is hot. Gold is hot.
Anything when there's a winner or a loser. His Hurts going for the end zone. It's caught.
And I love the 2004 Topps design right here, man. This 2004 Topps Chrome, that same rookie year as Larry Fitz. I guarantee you someone would reach $130 on this Gabe Davis if he puts up another game in a primetime scenario. We talked about the first Thursday night game against the Rams. Gabe Davis goes off or anything like he did in the AFC Championship game. Are you kidding me? Of course, they're going to reach for this card.
Fires it into wide open. Remarkable. Touchdown. Buffalo.
Right now, his 2018 Optic Hollow is $125 raw compared to Josh Allen's at $500. That's a big difference there, Steve, considering that Lamar Jackson had the season that he did.
Pocket collapsing. He's going to dart. He's going to run inside the 5. Jackson in for the touchdown. Oh, kind of quick by Lamar Jackson.
I know that that's your boy, so I had to share.
Heck yeah, man. The Mississippi mustache, dude. I'm going to be looking for him in like the 20th round of this draft.
Bushu with time, directing traffic. Now fires middle of the field. Caught. First down, Jacksonville.
Brady only has like 135 different rookie cards made for him, whereas Patrick Mahomes has close to 2,000.
He throws this ball from his shoestring around the guy. That's what
Look at Tua now climbing up in the past 7 days. His growth in buy it now, sold volume in graded cards on eBay is up 70%.
It's by the New England team. 2 on 1st and 10 going deep. And one out catch is made by Waddle.
And with Rookie Ticket Auto, there's fewer cards in this set for Joe Burrow.
And now he fires downfield to Jamar Chase. He's got it. Wow. Takes all away.
It's a first down. We got 1:20 seconds left. Y'all boys gonna play Madden?
It's numbered out of 25. 25 out of 25. It's Gronk doing a Gronk spike. Signature moves. Look how sick that is.
Got it for the touchdown.
T-minus 1 minute.
More juice for the gyro.
Like the juice.
T-minus 50 seconds.
Now, at the point where we're at, it is a lot easier for new people to get up to speed really quick.
T-minus 40 seconds.
Let's go.
That's a W. That's E1. That's E1. That's a W. How many people want to eat a W tonight?
T-minus 30 seconds.
Tyreek Hill taking over our camera. I think there may be a penalty for excessive celebration, but you know what? I'm going to let that one slide.
T-minus 20 seconds.
That's what I'm talking about. Now y'all some fun.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Take a deep
4,
breath.
3,
This is it right
2,
here.
1, 0.
Oh, baby, let's dig in. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another Decision Point live stream. your host here, Andy Kaysen, joined as always with Steve, the Hitman Scaladesi. How'd you like that intro, Steve?
That was pretty damn good, man. I like it.
Awesome. Yeah.
It had the juice. It had our boy Titus O'Neil. I mean, what's not to like?
Yeah, very true, man. They had a little bit of everything. I absolutely love it. Shout out to 402 Collect, our content director, for that wonderful intro there. We got juice tonight, guys. We got juice tonight because we got some juicy mailbag questions. We've got some live mail opening here tonight, amongst some eBay sniping, some live market comping, all kinds of good stuff, Steve. I'll just start right off the bat, and I'll give you a guess on which quarterback has seen the second most buy it now sold increase from last week to this week.
Second most. I would say second most. All right. I would say first is probably Hurts, and I would say second is Tua, probably.
Tua. Okay. Well, I meant like not in terms of like quantity of sold, but in terms of increase from the week prior. So,
right on.
They've seen a pretty incredible hype spike, a demand spike here in the last 7 days.
I would say maybe Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray? Well, close. You started to say, and I thought you were going to say Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, okay.
And that would have been the right answer. Colin Kaepernick, just based on the news that he's working out with the Raiders and that he may potentially sign with them as a backup. Obviously, he's not going to dethrone Derek Carr at this stage in the game. But Colin Kaepernick, and just kind of based on his social status, his political opinions, all that kind of stuff that he's involved with, the social injustice type of stuff and everything. And he's a polarizing figure, right? In the country, in NFL, it looks like the Raiders are going to potentially sign him. He's working out with them. Well, anyways, his buy it now sold volume on his graded cards have gone up 650% in the last 7 days.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the hype around his cards is going to be exclusively based on either controversy or media stuff. If he even makes the squad, he'll be third string probably. So I guess we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, if you were a guy that got stuck holding the bag on cap cards, I hope you got out, man. And if you haven't, please do it now because there's no long-term value in holding his cards. Like the peaks have probably come and gone already. So if you're getting a last chance to do it, this is a good one.
Very good one. Very good one, because just the relevancy alone, potential about getting the job is definitely causing a demand spike. And otherwise, we're seeing people reach in very interesting spots, and I think it's a lot driven by the fact that the auction volumes are still down. I mean, they're up a little bit from the previous 7 days, but still down when you go look at from before the draft and the Super Bowl time period till now. And so prices are still really high. One of the questions in our mailbag is from Third and Long. Have you noticed a dip in QB pricing lately, and is it consistent with what there's been in the past? And I'll say that maybe there's been maybe a couple dips here and there, but not a whole lot. And I think this is kind of forced people or motivated people to look in other avenues. You're seeing a 225% increase in Jacob Eason sold graded cards in the past 7 days. 200% increase in Matt Ryan, Jimmy Garoppolo, Carson Wentz. This looks like a lot of reaches to me, like a lot of speculative buys, if you ask me. I mean, even Marcus Mariota here at the top. So is that kind of what you're seeing, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, the main guys, I haven't seen a lot of movement in their cards necessarily. But I'm actually really surprised by these reaches. I'm not surprised so much by the Wentz. I'm not surprised by the Jimmy G. I have seen Derek Carr's going for a lot more than normal. I will say that. The Eason thing surprises me. I mean, the cap thing, I get like why some people have an intrigue with him. It's something that I wouldn't personally deal with. But Mariota, interesting. I mean, whether he keeps the job or not remains to be seen. And then the Easton thing, I think, might be even more surprising than the Kaepernick one. I don't know what the intrigue there is, but
you know what it is? It's the fact that the Seahawks announced, it looks like earlier this week, they waived undrafted free agent QB Levi Lewis. It's not like obviously big news. Obviously, this guy was undrafted for a reason, but that leaves them with only 3 QBs on their depth chart: Geno Smith, Drew Lock, and Jacob Eason. So I think it's just like maybe some people are thinking, oh, well, maybe he can beat out Drew Lock or Geno Smith and get a starting job, or one of them gets injured and all of a sudden he gets to play. And the fact that his cards are probably really cheap right now. So they probably saw a bunch of really cheap cards and were thinking, well, Herbert's Burrows are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for a comparable card. Let me go ahead and buy some Easons. Make me feel like I'm, those maybe some of those guys that only invest in QBs, and instead of going and buying, I don't know, T. Higgins, they're going to go buy a Jacob Eason.
And you know what it is too. It's when you're a QB speculator and you invest in primarily QBs, that's kind of the carousel you ride, where you probably, if you were buying Eason early in the game, you probably took a massive hit. But if you maybe weren't buying him early and see how cheap his cards are now, I mean, you can get like a below average position player would be more expensive than Jacob Eason right now. So if you think there's even a 1 in 100 chance that he starts a game this season somewhere, like, you might make a couple bucks picking a couple of his cards up. I wouldn't personally, but again, in that 1 in 100 chance, you could see an immense gain if that were to happen. It sounds like Geno Smith is going to be the guy, at least to start the season, though.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be up in the air between him and Drew Lock. I mean, Drew Lock, we've seen flashes of greatness from him before. Man, the guy, he can be a gunslinger. It's just wildly inconsistent. So it's like one of those things. If he could have a really good preseason, right, and flash that upside, maybe he could win the starting job. He could have some interesting games. There could be some interesting games, but I think you're right. I think Geno's most familiar with the playbook, the coaching schematics, the whole 9 yards there. So he's kind of like the first man up, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, looking at this other volume from these other positions, I still think a lot of positions auction volumes are down. I mean, it's interesting where we're seeing the buy it now increases. They're more speculative plays. Jalen Reagor, 12 buy it now graded card sales in the last 7 days. I mean, that's up 1,100% from the previous 7 days. Why are people buying Jalen Reagor right now, Steve?
Well, initially they were talking about him maybe getting traded, but then they decided that he deserved another shot there. And, when he doesn't have to be depended on as the number 2, that could lead to some better things for him. If you think about it, he probably is the 4th best receiver on that team, but that doesn't always matter when it comes to big plays, especially with the other guys that they have on that team. He could be a week to week sneaky play. I'm not saying that he's going to, be a Pro Bowler by any means, but I'm not going to lie. I've picked up a couple cards of his this week. Those buy it nows weren't mine, but I picked up a few auctions of his, and at the price you can get him at right now, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, so I see. I'm looking at Twitter now. That's the rumors. Jalen Reagor may be traded. That's the rumors. I get it. Got the new scenery in town. He's also hasn't lived up to his draft pedigree and the expectations that we had for him coming into the league. And I'm sure that his graded rookie cards is what we're looking at here in this buy it now volume were very cheap. So these 12 transactions were probably considerably lower than that of, it's not as impactful as the 4 Stephon Diggs transactions, or the 9 Gabriel Davis transactions. I guarantee you every single one of those were worth more than these 12 Jalen Reagors. One guy that's popping off to me, Steve, Chase Claypool, man. Chase Claypool here with 24 graded card sales in the last 7 days, buy it now format. That's a lot. Like that's significant.
A thing to consider is that if hypothetically Mitch or hopefully Mitch, who starts the season, If there's competent quarterback play and the ability to stretch the field, Claypool becomes relevant again. Claypool can't stretch the field when Big Ben's arm is, got like sea moss growing off of it or whatever. So, but yeah, no, his cards have definitely dived from a year ago, like quite a bit. So yeah, I could see people getting in low, and that's the whole thing is like the zig while you zag, or high risk, high reward. Like it might be a high risk investment, but it's a low dollar amount, right? It's the same reason somebody buys a scratch off lotto ticket or whatever. It's not going to cost you a lot to get in, but pending a couple things happening, you could see a huge return.
Yeah, and I feel like the market is very sensitive to news that is dropping about what's going on in these OTAs. The little bit of news that we are getting from the NFL, I feel like is causing some interest, right? Because we're all like, we're in the heart of the off season, and we're getting very little news. We were used to getting ton of trades and free agency signings throughout free agency, and then the draft, and it was like this blockbuster first round with all these trades. And even though there was only one quarterback taken in the first round. So that's another thing. Like the Steelers have more attention this offseason because they were the only team to draft a quarterback like early and reach for their guy and Kenny Pickett. And so they're getting this media hype. They're obviously big fan base. And it looks like I'm looking at Twitter now. Chase Claypool had an interview today. And there was all kinds of stuff. He was saying the first time he feels like his voice is being actively heard. And he was talking about things he needed to improve on. And, they talked about all kinds of stuff. So, and he's being highlighted. He's being highlighted right now. And I think we're seeing that translate into some demand for his cards over here on eBay.
And it's funny that you mentioned that because with there being so little in the news cycle from any football news, trades, there's no games being played right now, that just a regular interview is generating hype for a card sale. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely a big deal. It's something to think about when you look at the larger picture, where there's so little going on right now that something so minuscule can bump something up like that.
Yeah, no doubt, man. So let me ask you, Jay Heath, or JT Heath 34. If someone offers you below your eBay buy it now price of what you think you can get during the actual season, but it's still a profit, Steve, right? So they're offering you below your buy it now price, but it's still a profit, but you think you can get more than that during the season. Do you take the money and run, or is it better to hold out? I'm curious to hear what you say, as well as all you guys in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's two big factors on that. The first one being, how bad do you need the money, right? If you're fine and you're confident in your investment, I would absolutely wait for the season. If you have a good enough card, it'll definitely be in demand more once the football season starts, and you'll have 17 weeks of that player to just pop 1 week for that card to move, right?
Yeah.
But it also depends on is it highly sought after, right? If you're going to get a profit on a card that maybe you didn't think you were going to move that quickly, you might want to just take it because that player could be hurt. That player could be in a depth chart battle with another player or whatever. So, I mean, if you're holding like a graded Burrow rookie versus like you were talking about Chase Claypool, if you're going to see a small profit on the Chase Claypool, you take the profit on the Chase Claypool. If someone's lowballing you on a high demand card, Burrow, Brady, whatever, probably better to hold it.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. It's all about the relevancy, right? And how many guys are peaking in relevancy right now? Colin Kaepernick, Jacob Eason, maybe, stuff like that. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sell, man, because they're getting any and all news right now. And you could even maybe sell Chase Claypool heading into the season, but why not? I mean, the hype and the anticipation is only going to build when we get to preseason. We start actually seeing some games. We get into some more scrimmage type play. Hard Knocks is on TV, that kind of stuff. You're getting a lot more news start coming out about depth chart changes, how guys are doing in mini camp, how they're doing in scrimmage. Then we get the preseason, and it's like, why not sell then? I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day in my DMs about the, KJ Hamler. It was a really rare KJ Hamler rookie ticket auto, and he's injured, man. He's probably not even going to start the season. It doesn't look like he'll be on the PUP list. So it's like, why not wait until he comes back, because the hype is only going to build for him once he gets closer to the field. It's like if you had Deshaun Watson or Amari Cooper, any of the Browns players right now, they're kind of in limbo because of the news around Deshaun Watson. We're waiting to find out how long he's going to be suspended and what that's going to look like. And then we're going to have a better idea. But for a lot of these players, why not wait? But of course, if you want to make some cash now and the offer is good and you're looking at a double up and you think that, the seller checks out, or seller, look at me, the buyer that you're talking to, checks out and everything, then yeah, I mean, I get both sides of that, but I think if you can, most of them you probably want to just wait on right now.
And if it's maybe a guy that you were buying a lot of a few months ago that you're not really buying right now, let's say you're like, hey, I was into this guy, but now I would rather invest in this guy. Go ahead, let it go. Get into whatever you're getting into now, because this is a great time to buy, right? So if you're already making a profit on something, you could roll that into something that you could maybe see even more of a profit on now, because the volume sales are down. So prices are down a little bit, not a ton, but there's definitely an opportunity with less happening to buy at a bargain than there would be if football was being played every night, or every Sunday, I should say.
Yeah, especially out of the gate in September, right after we've been starved of football action for so long, for 9 months, or not even. It's like 6 months or 7 months, but we're starved for football action. When you finally get it, it's just so intense. It's so exciting. The beginning of the season, there's nothing like it. Just like the draft, right? And I think a good example is this Cortland Sutton rookie ticket auto, right? I was buying Cortland Sutton back when I was buying all my Jerry Jeudy's, and I sold all my autographed Jerry Jeudy cards. And I just sold a nice Cortland Sutton the other day, rookie ticket auto base, but it was sealed by Panini. I sold it for like 60 something, and 60 and some change. And this was a card that I bought like around $20 back in November or December, Steve. Maybe even have been January. And I went ahead and sold it because it was over a double up, and I know that the hype is probably going to build for him. It's going to continue to pick up, but it's like, in that situation, I've got multiple Cortland Sutton autograph cards. This particular one, it was fine to go ahead and liquidate it because I've got multiple. We're in the middle of the off season, so I'm not selling as many cards right now because I'm not lowering my prices to kind of meet the demand. Yeah, I'm selling Brady's. I had someone buy 2 different 2014 select Brady's from me today. I had somebody buy, what else was it that I saw? Oh, a Kareem Hunt field level silver that I've held for like forever. I sold that today. So stuff like that. It's like kind of random where I think my prices are very fair. They're very reasonable for those kind of cards. And I'm using plain white envelopes, so I have very low overhead as well. And from what I bought those at, I've held them for a while. I'm like, yeah, let's just go ahead and move that kind of stuff.
I did have a couple this week where, with it being slow, you're going to have the low ballers coming out of the woodwork and figure that, maybe people just want to move some volume. But I ain't doing it, honestly. I'm not. The cards that I have listed are not cards that need to be given away at half price. You know what I mean? And I would encourage you guys just to be, firm. If you have the card priced fairly, be firm, because all you're doing is just, you're feeding someone else when you could be feeding yourself. You know what I'm saying? And another thing is, like, I'll give you another example. Hollywood Brown is a great buy right now. There's still some deals to be had on Hollywood Brown. Now, Andy, you talked about Hollywood Brown for a while. I talked about Hollywood Brown for a while. Then he got traded. Now he's even better of a buy, okay? Mm-hmm. And I've had some Hollywood Browns up, and I was firm on the price then, and I had people, trying to buy it for low. Well, guess what? I never moved my price, and I've had an increase in interest despite never moving the price on the card now. So just know what you have. You know, if you're not sure, you can ask, but just be firm. If you have a fair price up, just be firm.
Speaking of Hollywood Brown, I've got the ultimate snipe, Hollywood Brown snipe for you, Steve. You're going to love this, man. The card is in such good condition. I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. The condition's insane.
Okay.
The condition's insane. It's this guy right here.
the one I sent you earlier.
Look at the condition. Now, you guys may think that this card is from the 60s, you know, maybe the 70s. No, this is 2019 Rookie Stallions, Marquise Brown, 18 out of 50 from Panini Playoff. It's got a 3-color patch, and it's only $11 plus $5 shipping. But what would you think this would grade out, Steve?
5, 4, maybe.
I'm saying this is a PSA 9, but SGC 4.
Depends on depends on how hungover the grader is. But I mean, I honestly was disappointed when I sent you that. I thought that was a cool card, man. I love the patch. And then I looked at the image and I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. You really got to be kidding me. Like, and for you guys that don't know, if you have a card like that and you're selling it, please put read in the description, because it's really unfair if someone just buys it at first glance and, gets hammered, pays full price for a card in that condition.
I'm guessing that, I mean, somebody should have. So where's, okay, here we go. So check this, and I totally forgot to mention this at the beginning of the episode, but we are affiliated with UnderdogFantasy.com. They just started a new draft today called the Puppy. This is a $5 entry. First place is $75,000, guys. You can take advantage of these early summer ADPs. The winner of the Best Ball Mania last year, I was telling Steve this earlier or last week maybe, they drafted their team in June. They came away with the $1 million prize. This one's a $5 entry, $75,000 first place prize. It doesn't get any easier than this to play fantasy football. I did one today. They automatically optimize your lineup on a weekly basis for you. Let me see if I could find it real. Here it is, right here.
Is this another best ball, Andy? Is this another best ball draft?
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. And, okay, so check this out. This is my squad over here. Tom Brady, Trey Lance, Trubisky. I actually got Trubisky in the very last round of this thing. Eckler, Saquon, David Montgomery, Madison, Michael Carter, Zamir White, T. Higgins, DJ Moore, Brandon Ayuk, Russell Gage, AJ Green. But I wanted to show you the full draft because I was really surprised at where Marquise Brown is still going in the draft. I want to say it was the fifth round down here with DeAndre Hopkins missing the first 6 weeks of the season and him having the college connection with Kyler Murray. Is nowhere to go but up for Marquise Brown this year in Arizona. Going to be clear number 1 wide receiver on his team, and he's going behind guys like Terry McLaurin, Cortland Sutton, Amari Cooper. We don't know when Deshaun Watson's going back. Allen Robinson, we love him. He's going to the Rams. We love that with Matt Stafford, but he's not the number 1 there. It's Cooper Kupp. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a really good value still on Marquise Brown, like we're talking, man.
I'm still doing my my slow draft on here, and I'm patient, but I feel like the guy in front of me takes the full 8 hours every single time. It drives me absolutely nuts.
We know a few people like that.
You know what, Andy? His ADP is 40, but I took him at pick 32, Marquise Brown.
Yeah, so you reach for him, but I mean, when he's got top 10, top 5 upside, yeah, it's understandable. I mean, that's the kind of plays you're trying to make in best ball. You're trying to hit home runs. You're trying to hit home runs. And you're trying to do that in the card market too, And
the thing with these kind of drafts is, you're playing against it's essentially a 12-team league. But if you win that 12-team league, then you play against a larger player pool, and that's how you win the millions, right? The 2 million or whatever. So a thing to consider when you're doing these best ball drafts is you don't particularly want to have the same.
Boom. Scaladesi's devices got disconnected. Must have been a sign from the fantasy gods, the football card quest gods, because how rude of me. I haven't, shouted out anybody in the chat. We got Sean in the house. Derek Richard, let's go. Derek chasing the dream. He just wants to retire and do fantasy football for the rest of his life, brother. That's the dream, man. That's the dream, brother. That is the dream. We got 402 in the house. Sean had a question. This is a question clearly for Steve. How much juice is too much juice? Thanks. I would say, you don't want to just completely ruin something with so much juice that it's ruined, that it's drowning in juice, that it's soggy. But other than that, you want it to be very healthy with juice. Yeah, lots of juice is healthy. Well, there's the whole bottomless mimosa thing. Yeah, I'm out of the loop on that one. So this is more of a philosophical questions. Oh, this is about the juice. Too much money, too much time, too much juice. Matthew Steets, what's good, man? Matthew Steets in the house. What's up, Justin? Messiah, let's go. All right, Aaron, what's good, man? Anon, what's up? Anon Ron is in the house. Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like, man. I was like ready to press the buy button right there at the end. It's like, take a deep breath. This is the moment. I'm ready to smash the buy button, except I was getting ready to buy like a Joe Burrow rookie ticket auto, Derek had it cranked up, man. And hopefully got all the ceiling tiles. I appreciate that. Late stick, what's good? Late stick in the house. Bob, what's going on? Boggy. Man, I gotta catch up. Like I'm way behind in the chat here. Joe, yo, third and long made it. Messiah, we totally lost Steve. He is MIA. Oh, he's back. Boom. Welcome back.
The ghost in the machine did not want me to tell you to reach for Hollywood Brown. So in that case, reach for Hollywood Brown because you won't be disappointed.
There you go. Yeah, we knew it was a sign, man. As a sign. Blaine, appreciate that, brother. Everybody out there hitting the like button.
I saw the comment before my camera went out. Somebody was asking about the hat. I spent my summers growing up in the Tampa area. So I grew up being I needed another bang, yeah. But no, I grew up being a dual team fan. So that's why I have the hat and the shirt.
Get out of here, man. You grew up your summers in the Tampa Bay area?
That's why the heat doesn't bug me, man. It's really hot in Illinois right now, or at least it has been. And so spending my summer months growing up in the Florida heat, June through August, never bothered me. Too much
Very
juice
nice.
is
You
correct.
get used to it. Sean wants to know how much juice is too much juice.
If you're having an Italian beef, there's no too much. There's no too much. It's got to be sopping. If you pick it up and it's dripping onto the table, that's the right amount.
Can you pull this off, Steve? Do you have a Ric Flair wig? Can you?
I don't have a wig, but we could maybe swing something. I'll talk to Brandon. We can get something going for sure.
Anoy wants to talk about Jalen Hurts. Got Jalen Hurts on the brain. Cap is better than Carr. Sorry, not sorry, Messiah says. He's a better rusher. I wouldn't give him better passing. I mean, Carr is going to crush him in those categories, those metrics. Chase Daniels, man. We'll buy some Chase Daniels, dude. This is the backup. Is he still in Detroit? Is he still the backup to Jared Goff? We're all scrambling to find out. Where's Chase Daniels playing? No. Get your Easons up. That's the message from the show tonight. That's a big takeaway. If you take anything away from this show tonight, it's to put your Colin Kaepernick and your Jacob Eason cards for sale on eBay right now. Get those suckers listed, man. People are wanting to buy them.
Yeah, I am quite surprised by that, but different strokes for different folks, and let them invest their own way if they want to take those massive gambles. I mean, I'm all for taking gambles. That's just
He's all for taking gambles, man. Just like he took a gamble on the internet service that he got. That's good, man. Steeler Brian Steeler 96 here is a good man. Good man. Take care of the families. Shout out to everybody's family. James said 9 minutes. Oh, snap. How long ago was this? This is 8:54. That was like 20 minutes ago, dude. Aaron Rodgers, green. Ooh, 2005. That's a rip yard. Welcome back, Steve.
I don't know. It's not the internet. I had this happen earlier before I logged on with you, where the camera just kept tweaking on me.
Yeah, who is buying Henry Ruggs? What the hell's going on with Henry Ruggs? I saw quite a few Henry Ruggs transactions. 171% increase from the week prior. Henry Ruggs transactions. Henry Ruggs right here, graded card sales. Not only did he have an increase in auction volume, 177% increase in auction volume, he had 171% increase in buy it now volume in the past 7 days, Steve. Now I got to go to Twitter, look up Henry Ruggs. Because what?
Man,
why?
I couldn't even begin to tell you why that might be happening. I have no clue. And I think there's better high risk. Derek, thanks, man. Yeah, I think I might need like a new driver for update for my video card or something. I don't know why the camera keeps cutting off. But we appreciate that either way. Yeah, there's better investments, better gambles than Henry Ruggs. I mean, even if the guy comes back to the league,
dude, he's going to be.
We're talking like what, in his early 30s, maybe? I don't even know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you thought that Kareem Hunt, right? Kareem Hunt has a bad reputation now because of what he was caught doing on camera back in 2019. And what Henry Ruggs did was even worse. So
right.
It's like a lot worse. Like, someone's life was involved, literally. So, I mean, it was, he was involved in absolute tragedy. And, dude, I don't see the guy not serving at least like 5 to 10 years or something like that in prison. And I don't know who's buying him, but it must be maybe the Alabama pedigree. I don't know. And just the prices, like, because you also have to take into account that, yes, the prices are low. So maybe it's combined with that, and people just can't resist someone that can run that fast, that's still so young, that went to Alabama, that you can get a PSA 10 for $25 or $30 or whatever it is, I'm going to have to go look up.
Andy, here's something I'm considering. How many buy it nows was it for Henry Ruggs? 20?
19.
19. Let's be fair.
Lose him again. See you, Steve. Let's be fair. Yes, let's be fair. We have to cut Steve out at least once every 4 or 5 minutes. What's up, Jay? What's up, Jay? Blaine. Derek, man. We appreciate that super chat. Derek, you are the man. What's up? Please put the store. He's clearly behind on it. They've cut him down to 2G is what it is, man. He was at 5G, and now then he was at 3G. Now he's down to 2G. So we appreciate that, Derek. I'm gonna send it right to him. I'm gonna Venmo it to him right after this. Aaron, I gotta shout out our guy Jaritos over in our Discord server. The dude is incredibly smart. He tried to explain it to me. I asked him questions, how he built this web app. This is using eBay's free API, application protocol interface. It's a code language, right? It's a script. It's a code that you can get from eBay, and if you know what to do with it, you can build a web app just like this. And that's exactly what he did. He's a web developer. He's a computer programmer. So he took eBay's free API that they give you. It's a developer's kit, and he was able to build this himself. So I can go over here. He's got so if you want access to it, you just got to be part of our Discord server over at patreon.com/footballcards. We have memberships as low as $6 a month. It's well worth your value. Jarito's a really cool guy. I'm sure, you know, he's everybody else in the chat, in the Discord server has access if they want access, you know. But we can go here, and it's basically tracking the change in values over the past 7 days in terms of volume. And then like when you see here, the percentage change, this is from the last transaction. So it's saying that the absolute PSA 10 of Herbert is down 5.81% from the last one. So same thing with Josh Allen, from the time before is down 5. And then you can click into it and we can actually see a chart, you know, going back for the past year, August 25th, 2021. And this will be the base Donruss here, PSA 10. And if we want, we could look at PSA, SGC, CSG, BGS. So yeah, it's a really handy tool, man. Really handy tool. They've got some auctions here. I added to the your collection, like you can, you know, start a little collection and stuff like that on here. So it's tracking changes in graded card sales because you can pinpoint the graded cards better than you can raw cards, because there's so many variables in the condition of raw cards, the way people list them, so many fluctuations and variables there that it's hard to get consistent data, you know. And with graded cards, it's a lot easier to get consistent data. So we can see here, Jalen Hurts based on PSA 10, 7.4% change in the last since the last transaction. It's up is basically what that means. So you can see here, yeah, it is up from May 19th. There's been a couple of transactions now that's going up to here around $45, $50. But look at where it was at in October, September of last year. So I absolutely think that because of A.J. Brown and the Philadelphia Eagles opening schedule, this card is going to get back up to somewhere in this neighborhood where it was, you know, last year around this price point, about $100. I can definitely see that happening. Mac Jones down a little bit. That makes sense. Getting on the verge of all this new product coming out for 2022. Welcome back, Steve.
Yeah, I don't know. It keeps saying that my camera's unplugged. Clearly it's not. So I updated the video card driver. We'll see if that worked. I definitely appreciate the jokes, guys. One of my biggest pet peeves is computer problems, though. So hopefully this remedies it. If not, I'll just keep fighting the good fight.
Yeah, you might have to go mobile, man.
You know, yeah. I mean, if we need to, that'll happen. But you know, I think we'll be good now that I updated the video card.
Shout out to Tom. He said maybe Henry Ruggs doing through the mail autos in prison. Yeah, he's sending back a free pack of cigarettes and some toilet bowl vodka. That's the toilet bowl punch.
You know what's funny is I was saying before the camera cut out, I think it could be like the same person buying all those cards. It could be like one person just buying them all. And we don't know like what the card is unless we like went in and dug. It could be like dollar-based cards, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. It could be, I mean, that's when you could go over to here on the Explore page. We go to the Explore page. Man, the people are loving Jarito's little web app here. All right, so you can go here. We could type in Henry Ruggs. We can go and then it'll pop up all of his recent graded card sales and look at the trend. I mean, this is why he's had so many. Like I said, because they're so low. And just people can't resist a PSA 10 for $15-20, even if it is Henry Ruggs. And I think that's what we're seeing. It's not, obviously, when I say people, it's not a lot of people, but there have been 24, whether it was the same guy or a few different guys. It was probably a few different guys, and they couldn't resist the PSA 10 prices for this low.
Another interesting take, and you know, I think there's still a better floor to buy his cards at, but he might never have another trading card printed. Let's be honest. If he never plays football again, that could be it.
That's very true. That's very true. I personally still don't want one. You know, I'm selling it, but I get the thought process. You know, people, you can't resist a PSA 10. Can't resist a PSA 10 for $6 or $10 or whatever it is. That's what it is, man. I mean, look, here's someone a PSA 10 college card sold for $1. Can't say no to that, right? Even if it is Henry Ruggs.
$1, yeah. I mean,
that's it, man. That's the thought process behind it. I think that's what's driving.
If you were a fan of his in college and you could get a PSA 10 of his for $1, I mean, that would be hard to say no to.
And Alabama, I mean, it's Alabama pedigree, and it's like at that cheap when everything else is so expensive for people that are actually going to play that are elite right now. So if it's not like if you're not finding any deals, then you're pivoting to this kind of stuff. It's interesting. But
yeah, definitely not a topic I thought we would be covering this evening. But yeah,
no.
Apparently someone thought it'd be a cool idea to buy some Henry Ruggs. Maybe, Andy, they bought 20 $1 PSA 10s of Henry Ruggs to drum up hype for their more expensive Henry Ruggs that they have listed themselves. Huh? How about that angle?
Maybe.
Right?
Maybe. So let's see here. Yeah. Okay. All right. I digress from Henry Ruggs. That's what's cool about the little web app, because I let the volume trend kind of dictate what I look at to pinpoint trends. What's causing these type of spikes, and so that's why I absolutely love what Jarrito's built. I told him he had basically this collection built. I was like, dude, if there is a way that you could take what you've done here and show me the volume on a week-to-week basis, that would be home run. And so the dude's a genius, and that's exactly what he did. So shout out to him. Like I said, though, if you guys want to get access to it, just hit us up in the Discord, man, over at patreon.com/footballcards. Hop in the fam and hit us up in there, and we'll make the introduction. We'll get you access. But all right, so Third and Long from the YouTube community page wants to know if you knew an SGC 9.5 would grade as a PSA 9 with a crossover grade, would you rather have? Which would you rather have, SGC 9.5 or PSA 9?
99.9% of the time, I would take the SGC 9.5.
Boom.
I think you'd probably agree. The only time that PSA 9 might be worth more is a very rare situation where you're talking about a really, really old card like Mickey Mantle or even Jordan rookies and stuff like that, where a half grade or what grading company you're using is going to cost you a few grand, right? Those cases, probably PSA. But in a general rule of thumb, the 9.5 for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. I'd rather have the 9.5 because I know that the chances of that being a true 10 are a lot higher. And so it just gives you, and obviously from a perception standpoint with SGC kind of growing in the market, and you see what BGS 9.5s do, and people are starting to gain more respect for SGC. So it's starting to view that SGC 9.5 just like the BGS 9.5, which in a lot of cases people kind of view as a PSA 10, because we've seen so many suspect PSA 10s out there, and we've just seen far fewer, very little suspect SGC 10s and BGS 10s, and BGS 10s are incredibly rare, but the BGS 9.5 still, they don't let hardly any, if any, fall through the cracks. You don't see them, getting blasted out on social media for letting cards that were clearly 7s and 8s get through the system as 9.5s. You know what I'm saying, Steve?
And they haven't been caught passing any clipped cards yet either, so there's that too.
Oh, that's a great point, Anoy. BGS opened economy, which is very interesting for football card market. They have a similar submission level to PSA now, Steve. So if you were that's an interesting one. Now, the one thing about BGS is they have those little upcharges involved, kind of like CSG. If you want the subgrades, you want this, you want that, you obviously have the upcharges, but most of them are doing that. I would think. Like you want to grade the autograph, you want the pedigree, you want to get the history, you want to get your family. What is that? Your shield, your family shield stamped on the back. You know, it's a $5 upcharge.
You know, I'm not against buying a card in a BGS slab, and you know, I think the only real appeal, my opinion, is the pristine label, right? But I do have an issue with BGS where so few 10s exist, right? You know, their 9.5 is a PSA 10, hypothetically. I don't know if I like that. You know, I think that does turn a lot of people off.
Oh, man, I mean, it's tough because you know that the chances of you getting BGS 10 are like insanely low. Insane. You know what I'm saying? Insanely low. You just might as well rule that possibility out, and you're really looking for a 9.5. If you got a 10, you should go out and buy a lotto ticket.
The 10 is, you know, you could make the argument it has a larger multiplier than other 10s do, but the odds are so low that do you even gamble it at this point? Oh,
somebody just joined the studio, Steve.
Oh,
it's that time, brother.
Very nice. We have a piece of mail. Let's see what's in there.
It's that time. All right, let me see if I can get this. There we go. Get the old gooseneck over here. The old gooseneck. Now, I got to shout out JT Cards out there. Our brother JT Cards, Sean, hit me up in the Discord, said, dude, check this out. And this is like, I mean, the deal was so good. I had a ComC credit, a ComC balance of $50. And this is like a non-rookie card, but it's so rare. It's a veteran card of a player that I really like, and it's incredibly rare. And the set is like a really nice collector's set, and the patch was really nice, and it fit my balance that I had.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it fit the balance that I had, and so I was like, oh yeah, the condition's fantastic. This card is numbered out of 5. So
you know me, man. Spectra is probably much higher on my list than it is on most people. So that's a beautiful thing. Man.
And this looks so much nicer in person too, man. Look at the chunk, man. Look how thick that sucker is. Oof, dude, look at the patch on that, man. It's like part of the name, I think, on the back, or the.
It looks like the N from Godwin. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It looks like an I next to the N.
Yeah, man. That mesmerizing Spectra, that design in the background, so sick. I mean, the card with it being at ComC is in incredible condition for being such a thick patch card. You can see the serial number there, 1 of 5. So it's also a bookend out of 5, man. So I'm trying to up the PC a little bit, trying to up the collecting game, not a rookie card. But if I'm not going non-rookie card for the PC, something that's just gonna pop when it sits on the wall, man, something like this, I definitely want to send this in to get graded on our.
So the real question, Andy, is that a fixture, permanent fixture, or is that it's a fixture unless the price is right?
Oh, if somebody wants to buy this, I don't even want to put it back in the penny sleeve right now because I feel like I'm going to mess up the corner, try and do it too quick. Man, that's a tough call. Like, dude, it's hard. I feel like everything has a price, right? I mean,
the $1 million man. Do you remember the $1 million man from the WWF? He said, everybody has got a price, and every card has a price, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, even Carter says that about his precious Tyrann Matthews, you know? And I mean, everything's got a price. I would say unless I had him personally autograph it, like, you know, he was my friend, I had him autograph it and he like wrote my name. Maybe he like wrote let's dig in on it or something and he autographed it. Then I would never sell it. Right? If it was that personalized. But the thing is, this is not that personalized. Yes, it is an extremely rare card. Yes, I love the design, the patch, everything about it. But still not game worn. It's still not game worn. It does say that he wore it.
You should pull like a Jake Paul and get it encapsulated and wear it as a necklace.
JP said he saw this last week hanging from a hippie van rear view mirror.
It might have been a Ricky Williams, though, not Chris Godwin.
This is one that definitely needs a son of a. I'm not going to do this right now.
Yeah,
I'm going to set it.
I recently, and little hobby tip for you guys, there's like a Beckett sleeve, penny sleeve, that's almost like a one size fits all. And I definitely recommend it. That way, no matter what card you got coming in that you want to put away, it'll fit. And especially if you're putting relic cards, thick cards like that, you want to have something like that.
Now for something, just a great player, great investment. Bam!
I dig it, man.
First year Prism, the gunslinger, Kirk Cousins. I think he's going to be on the Vikings for the next 4 to 5 years. First year Prism. Great condition. I know for a fact I got this for less than $10 too. It was just too cheap for how scarce the first year Prisms are, and for the fact that he's a quarterback and a pretty dang good quarterback. He does not get the respect that he deserves, and that's because he doesn't have the MVPs. He doesn't have the playoff wins, and he is going into his 10th year now. So, the expectations are inherently that much higher because of the age.
Easily one of the most slept on guys in the league. I mean, it's mind boggling. A lot of it has to do with market size and other stuff like that. But, if you based it exclusively on skill, if that was the only barometer for card value, I mean, he would be, 10, 15 times higher than he is right now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, even Russ, who, Russ is great, right? He's got the ring, new team, but he had a down season last year. He's also, you look at these first year Prism guys, they're aging, right? They're aging, but and they don't have the amount of MVPs and rings that a Tom Brady has. So it's not like they can be valued the same as that. And they're not making plays like Patrick Mahomes. So, and they're not as young as him. So they haven't been to as many championship games as he's been to in the past 3 or 4 years. So they can't be valued as that either. But even a base Prism variation of Russ is about $100. And I've seen them actually getting up to now lately in the past couple of weeks, closer to 150, Steve. I've seen people reaching for him at 150. So for Kirk Cousins to be 10 or lower, I think he should be like around 40, 50. I would you rather have Kirk Cousins or Ryan Tannehill?
For an investment or as my team quarterback?
Both.
I guess the answer is the same. I would have Cousins all day.
Yeah, I'd take Cousins all day too. He's a better passer. I think Cousins has still got some mobility as well. I know Ryan Tannehill is a little bit better of a scrambler, like a tactical scrambler. But I'll ask you guys in the chat: would you guys rather have Ryan Tannehill or Kirk Cousins? I think the answer for me is Kirk Cousins. And I do think that the Vikings, like JP said here, I think they can win the NFC North. That's a very realistic possibility. That's in their range of outcomes this year. So it looks like the consensus in the chat is Cousins for sure across the board.
The interesting thing to me is you see the thousands that pumped into some of these guys, the Easons and the Genos and the what's his face, the guy that tried out with Oakland, the Kaepernicks, and this whole time you got Cousins just sitting there. And like you said, that same card of Russ and some other guys are much higher. If you can get that for under $10, that's a no-brainer, dude. I mean, if they win the division, which they hypothetically could, or even make the playoffs, there's no reason that shouldn't be $30, $40 on the low end, probably.
Yeah, let's see where I got Cousins. All right, would you rather have Kirk Cousins? So I've got Kirk Cousins in the tier here with Derek Carr, Matt Ryan, Ryan Tannehill, Jameis Winston, Carson Wentz, and Jared Goff. I think you're a little bit more bullish on Derek Carr. He is my number 22nd ranked quarterback in my rankings. So he is a little bit higher than Cousins, but only by one spot. Would you rather? And look at this. All right, I want you guys to notice something. See this column right here that I'm highlighting? This is how many different rookie cards were made for these players. So for Derek Carr, you have 2006 different rookie cards. For Kirk Cousins, you only have 515 different rookie cards. That's very low. Look at the difference between all these other guys, and even a Mac Jones who's got over 4,000, today. But look at some of these older guys. Winston, 2,400. Well, he was the first number 1 overall pick. So, but look at Tannehill, even same draft class, right? Same draft class, just Ryan Tannehill was a first-round draft pick, and Kirk Cousins was a fourth-round draft pick. And so there's a big difference in what Panini printed for them. Ryan Tannehill has almost 3 times as much different rookie cards printed than Kirk Cousins.
Even if they perform to an equal performance level, I mean, Carr's going to he's going to be more heralded, more invested in. He's been in the news. He has a almost for sure playoff contender roster. They got Devontae Adams, so people are going to be eating it up. Cousins is going to be continued to be slept on, but that's all the more reason that an investment in him is a more realistic investment than a Jacob Eason, regardless of dollar amount.
Would you guys rather have Cousins or Matt Ryan?
I mean, I don't know. I think that Matt Ryan's already seen an uptick just by getting traded. But I think the thing to remember is that he's a probable Hall of Famer at some point. So that is something to take into consideration. So on the Hall of Fame tiebreaker, I would say Ryan, but I think the Colts, I think Matt Ryan for 2 reasons, because Colts should win the division easily. They should go to the playoffs, and he's a potential Hall of Famer. So
yeah, you can see here that this score that I just highlighted, that's their Hall of Fame marker score. Matt Ryan's at 102.6, Kirk Cousins at 37.83. So a lot of what brings Matt Ryan up into this tier is his Hall of Fame marker. Now, I do have Minnesota as almost a full point ahead of Indianapolis in terms of team score. That's looking at their power ranking, their Super Bowl odds, their fan base size, the Facebook page likes they get, the whole 9 yards, looking at all different aspects of their team as a whole. I've got them slightly ahead. And with the youth, got almost 4 years on Matt Ryan. I've got Kirk Cousins just 1 spot ahead of him, but he's got a lot more scarcity. I can get on board with that. It's hard. I mean, they're right next to each other. Now, what about Jameis Winston? I mean, he's like a flyer, but he's in this tier as well. Would you rather have Jameis Winston or Kirk Cousins?
Winston is a much bigger risk, but that could also pay off too. So I think that there's a more of an upside on the investment for Winston, but his real test is going to be, can he stay healthy? He looked like he was going to have an outstanding year last year. If he can just pick up where he left off, Winston is a really good investment.
He can, man.
And have you seen him? That they didn't really have any what you would call bona fide weapons in the passing game last year, and all of a sudden they have like more than they can field. So that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good problem to have. Shout out to LOB. Is it LOB or Lob? LOB or Lob Roses at work on that grind. Yes, get that, make that money. Got to replenish that card budget, right?
Questing on the work quest. I like it.
So shout out to you. Let's see if I got one more package over here to go through. No, that is not. It's like, a bill or something. I don't know. Let's see what else we got. I got one more plain white envelope.
You could always send in that bill for grading and see what score it gets. I would be curious.
Will they pay it for me while it's there?
You know what's funny is somebody in the chat earlier said something about that card that I had linked to you and that had the rough edges around it, and they said we should send it out in the next submission. I'm not throwing any money at that, but if everyone wants to chip in and do it for the funsies, I'll be more than happy to entertain that idea.
Yeah, and JP, yeah, like some Irv Smith. He's got the draft capital. He's got the college pedigree from Alabama.
Heck yeah,
he's got the receiving chops. I'm trying to keep the anticipation high on this one. I don't know what it is, but the expectation should be.
I haven't done. I've been so busy this week. I haven't touched my mail. I got a couple envelopes sitting.
I remember what these are. They're not Sidney Rice at all. This is we're just talking about Jameis Winston. This is Winston's backup. Are you ready? Bam, baby.
Oh man. Oh,
this is the kind of cards that I've been buying in May. Yeah, these were so cheap. I'm like, dude, it's an X-Fractor. First of all, I'm a sucker for the X-Fractor design. And it's the red rifle, man. The red rifle was like, you know, the Kirk Cousins value in fantasy draft circa like 2014, you know?
You know, they're saying that he's looking like he's going to start the season. Winston will probably start the season healthy is what they're saying. But who knows? I mean, that would probably be the best receivers that Andy Dalton's ever had in his life, if they're all active. So,
dude, I literally got these for $2 a piece. And I just love the X-Fractor design, and I feel like these would grade really well. They're just in such clean condition, man. These look to be really clean, and it's just the card looks so good, man. This card's gonna pop. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, Winston, there's no guarantee. He looks like he'll start the season, but there's no guarantee he's not benched by week 5 to 6. You know, there's no guarantee he doesn't get hurt again. Like, there's no guarantees at all. You know, so I mean, why not? For the price point, it's just, you know, there's some PC value in there as well. I share the same first name with the guy, man. It's like, it's a good name.
I was a fan of his prior to him going to the Bears, and I'm not gonna lie, even though he's not with us anymore, I've still continued to buy some of his cards. So I do have some of those Topps Chrome autos sitting on deck just in case. Again, I'm happy to hang on to him, but more than happy to move him if he takes a couple starts this year. You know,
so cheap. Yeah, so cheap. And I don't know if you guys realize it, but he is backing up Jameis Winston. Taysom Hill is a tight end this year, guys. Taysom Hill is tight end, so you got to worry about him vulturing, quarterback snaps from Andy Dalton. You know, the red rifle could make an appearance, man.
For sure. No, I think that the realistic situation would be probably if he gets hurt. I don't see him getting benched, but I think he makes one start this year, minimum. If I was taking an over/under.
All right, I got a final question for you, and then we're gonna pull up a couple eBay snipes before we let you get out of here, Steve. Do you think an AJ Dillon Contenders Optic Cracked Ice rookie ticket auto out of 22 is worth $210 right now? He actually went ahead and bought it, and he wanted our take.
Cracked Ice out of 22 with the auto?
Yeah, this is Honey Nut. Shout out to Honey Nut from our YouTube community page.
I would say, yeah. I mean, I think that anybody that's a star in the league that you can get a card that scarce of, I would say absolutely. And Andy, I showed you a recent sale of mine on a gentleman who hasn't played an NFL down yet of a rookie ticket Cracked Ice auto. And I got about $50 for it. So, I mean, that hopefully that helps answer your question, or at least reaffirm that you made a good investment. And, you know, if AJ Dillon becomes the absolute featured back here in the near future, which he very well could, that's when that card's going to take off.
Yeah, man, no doubt. I dig it. I dig it, Steve. All right, I got a question for you. Would you rather have, because you've been talking about Josh Jacobs a few times in the past couple months, would you rather have Josh Jacobs or A.J. Dillon for that same price, cracked ice, rookie ticket auto heading into the season?
Just for a investment value, are you asking about?
Yeah, just in terms of like what do you feel outlook wise on the season? Would you rather have A.J. Dillon or Josh Jacobs?
If I could get in at the same price, I would take the Jacobs. And the reason for that is the ability to, in my opinion, sell the cards sooner could come this season with Oakland probably going to the playoffs versus maybe having to wait till the following year for the A.J. Dillon. So that's kind of my rationale on that.
Yeah, I think
the only problem is you're not going to get the Brandon Jacobs for the same price. The Brandon Jacobs is going to cost you 2-3 times that. So that's another thing. The price of it is already probably exponentially higher. So if you could buy them at the same price, the Jacobs, you could just turn around and sell the same day.
Yeah. You mean Josh Jacobs, right? I knew you meant.
Yeah. Sorry, Brandon Jacobs was the guy that played for the Giants back in the day.
I've actually got A.J. Dillon. Like, he's my number 17 running back, and I've got Josh Jacobs, my RB26. And just the reason behind that, just the Green Bay Packers market. All right. A.J. Dillon just fits that mold so well. He's also crept up in terms of opportunities. He's gotten more carries, more receptions. He had a surprising amount of receptions and targets last year, Steve, and he's creeping up on Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones' contract is good through 2024, right? So he's good through 2024. However, when you look at how old he is, he'll be 28 this year. And there is a potential out in his contract after this season. For 2 years, they'll have to eat roughly $10 million in dead cap. So it's a pretty big contract. Like, his total contract value was 4 years, $48 million. He got a $13 million signing bonus. So he's getting an average of $12 million per year. I mean, that's a lot of money. So obviously he's still going to get plenty of opportunities. It's going to be a 50-50, but I could definitely see them moving on from Aaron Jones after this year if he really struggles, because you have Aaron Rodgers in this little win now window. I'm not saying that Aaron Jones is going to struggle in terms of like his performance, but if he's not able to maintain his health, right? He missed a couple games last year. He missed a couple games the year before with injuries. And every opportunity that he gives A.J. Dillon is another opportunity for A.J. Dillon to go out and just look like an absolute monster, because that's what he is on the field.
You know, a lot of people forget when receiving targets get vacated, they automatically think of, well, who's going to step in and take those targets? And right away, what do people think of? They think of the tight end. They think of the other receivers on the team, etc. But a lot of people forget about the running back. Especially one that's getting as many receptions as he does. Let's not forget, and we're going to cite some other news going on right now. The owner of the Colts talking about Nyheim Hines, that you and I have been talking about for a long time, saying that you should draft him in your fantasy leagues this year, from the organization itself, saying that they've been lining him up in the slot in camp already and stuff like that. So sneaky, get in while you can do it.
You know what? I drafted him. I saw that post, and we're in the 20th round. I think it was the 20th round of our dynasty startup draft, and I pushed the button on him. I'm like, oh, that's great news, man. You know, it's like one of the best handcuffs in the league. Can you imagine if something happens to Jonathan Taylor? He's just getting better quarterback play this year. Obviously, the Colts are desperate to make it to the playoffs after what happened to them last year. They lost getting into the playoffs by one game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Are you kidding me? Like, dude, I hit the...
You all right there? Anyone else see Andy freeze up? Say yes in the chat if you saw that. Anyone there?
Whoa, well, welcome back, guys.
You all right there, Andy?
Shout out to Derek Richard. I missed this super chat for him. Appreciate you, bro. Buy the card. Which card is he talking about?
He's talking about the banged up Marquise Brown.
He wants us to buy it and submit it. All right, we're doing it. If it's still out there, I'm doing it right now. I'm gonna make an offer on it though. I'm making an offer like I'm looking at it like, no, I'm not buying this full price, bro.
Yeah.
I'm making an offer on it.
Yeah. What are you going to offer him, like $4?
I was going to offer him 5 and see what he comes back with. I will work out a deal with this guy. Send. We're going to buy this card just to have fun with it. Shout out to Brand Kokov, eBay seller. He's 100% positive feedback, even though he doesn't mention anything that his card has been kept between the 2 mattresses in his bedroom, where a lot of friction occurs. So there you go.
I mean,
we made an offer, Derek. I say we made an offer.
There's at least
man.
Andy, I got to say, there's at least a 1% chance that card may have been kept in a wallet for a few days or something. You know, I mean, I agree. Hey, you know what, Brandon? Andy, I've sent you both the same link this week on a Lamar Jackson I was thinking about buying, and I've been wanting to talk about this on one of the live streams. Please, if you're selling on eBay and your card is under $20, please offer eBay standard shipping. Nobody's trying to buy a $3 card for $8, right? You don't need to spend $5 on shipping for a $3 card or a $1 card. It's absolute insanity. There's tons of cards that I would personally buy from people that I don't have the listings in front of me, but I showed you guys one in the Discord that had $11 shipping here within the U.S. It was 2 states away. $11 shipping. For what? I mean, is the guy going to bring it on a horse? I mean, I don't understand what the reasoning behind that is. But plain white envelope, eBay standard shipping is 93 cents. If you're selling a card for $3, man. If you're selling a card for $3, do standard shipping. You're going to do the buyer a favor, and you're going to do yourself a favor because you're never going to sell that card. Oop. You know, maybe Andy was the one that needed the donation for his internet. Andy. Maybe Andy's having some inclement weather, perhaps. Let's see. Well, let's check out the questions. Do you think Rojo has a good year? I do. I do think he has a good year. He's pretty useless in the passing game, but I do think that he'll be just fine. Maybe he's renting a horse. People are saying, where's Steve? Andy playing that freeze frame. Who's frozen? I see. Uh-oh. Hello. You guys still there? Looks like hey, Andy, pay your internet bill, bruh.
Dude, all right. So, like I was saying, Ronald Jones. I know, dude. It's like if it's not your internet, camera, mic, it's my internet. My computer is just kicking me off the Wi-Fi. It looks like I'm back on now.
You know what Andy? That means we're over the target. That means we're over the target. We're talking about something. We're onto something. That's why they're booting us.
Is it Ronald Jones in Kansas City? That's what it is.
He must be the sleeper play because we were talking about Marquise earlier, and then my camera kept disconnecting, and then we were talking about someone else, and that kept disconnecting. So we must be hitting on some. We must be over the target here.
So we know. So Ronald Jones is an interesting one, right? I mean, because he's not a spring chicken, but he's not super old, right? Only 25, so he still should be in his prime. He goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. You definitely like that. He's going to should get a lot of red zone opportunities. He's obviously going to be primary a running back. He's not going to be getting a lot of receiving work. That's still going to should go to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think if you look at the Kansas City depth chart, they still have that guy Derek Gore back there who showed to be okay. They drafted Isaiah Pacheco, and they still have Jerick McKinnon as their satellite back, who did pretty well in terms of receiving production as well. Obviously, they spent a lot of draft capital on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's still going to be like their number one guy in a lot of situations, versatile. But Ronald Jones, I mean, what do you think about Ronald Jones this year, Steve, in Kansas City?
He's I would say he's basically James Conner minus the receptions. That would be my best diagnosis. I mean, he's going to have a fair amount of yards. He's going to have a ton of touchdowns, probably not a lot of receptions. That's more of the Edwards-Helaire game. But, yeah, I agree with Messiah. I mean, I could see 12 TDs, something like that, 10 to 12.
It's got to go up from last year, obviously, right? I mean, Leonard Fournette just took over our backfield and did everything so well that the opportunities went down and down for Ronald Jones. Plus, Ronald Jones got injured. I mean, he missed 2 games in he missed 3 games in 2020 and missed 3 games in 2021 with an ankle sprain. So, I mean, he obviously dropped some passes. He's always knocked on for not being able to catch the ball. He did make some decent catches, but it was like, all right, from 2020 to 2021, he really fell off, and I think his card prices as a result really tanked. This is a new opportunity for him, man. But this is kind of like that last chance. If he does not do well for Kansas City this year with the opportunities that he gets, I think a lot of people are going to write him off at 25 years old.
Yeah, and there's a lot of guys that go to new squads and do really well. And that could be the case. Maybe he just needed to change his scenery. And he's right kind of like in that sweet spot where he should be at his like production pinnacle. And he's going to start falling off potentially quickly. But then again, you know what? That may not be true. He wasn't ever a featured back either. So there's always that.
Now, in terms of San Francisco, like I see this question about Elijah Mitchell, who totally bust onto the scene last year because Elijah Mitchell was not drafted. He was drafted in the 6th round of 2021. So, I mean, it was a combination of injuries that led to Elijah Mitchell breaking out. But it's like, holy crap, dude, he's got the speed to get to the outside and cut up field like Kyle Shanahan loves to run those type of run plays. And it was obvious that Trey Sermon couldn't do that, nor could he stay healthy. Kyle Juszczyk is a fullback. I mean, he's out there at times. You got Michael Hasties. Jeff Wilson couldn't stay healthy last year. He missed the majority of last season, and he's also an undrafted. He's just a completely undrafted guy, and missed a ton of games last year and in 2020. So it's like, I mean, I imagine that he could be used at some points this year. When in 2020 he did have 126 rushing attempts, but he missed the majority of last year due to injuries, and that led way to Elijah Mitchell. This year they drafted Tyrion Davis-Price, who is a very interesting running back prospect from LSU, Steve. At only 22 years of age, he does run a 4.4. He is 6 foot 219, and the dude is solid. Man.
I think Elijah Mitchell could be like one of the most undervalued running backs, not just as a rookie, but just in general. I mean, he quietly played well every week, and probably won a lot of people their leagues, realistically, because he had like RB2 numbers, and you could have got him in arguably like later in the draft or even at the end of the draft, depending when you drafted, because you had people that were in on guys like Trey Sermon and stuff like that who maybe what did he maybe have like 50 rushing attempts for the whole season, something like that. I mean, the guy was either hurt or benched, or holding the clipboard, So Elijah Mitchell, I think, is good, and if they build around Trey Lance or whoever, I think he's going to be a huge part of their offense.
The problem that I have, and I know we can't plan for this, we can't bet on this, is the injury risk, and it's not Elijah Mitchell, even though he did miss like 3 or 4 games last year, concussion, knee injury, fractured finger. So he did miss 4 games last year in his rookie season, but it's just the way like Kyle Shanahan uses his running backs. I feel like they are way more prone to injuries than some other teams because he has them run those stretch gap zone run plays. I just feel like, how if Elijah Mitchell already was missed 4 games in his rookie season, Steve, I think it is something that we do have to take. Actually, he missed more than that. I'm misspeaking. He missed 6 games in his rookie season. 6 games in his rookie season. Got the hell beat out of him out there.
It could just be bad luck. I mean, he might play 3 consecutive seasons and miss 3 games the next 3 years. So it's too really early to say on that. I agree.
That's true. I mean, maybe he wasn't training properly at the NFL level, and this year he's like, holy crap, dude! I got the crap beat out of me last year. I gotta do some things different this year, But
and a lot of these guys coming out of college, they're not fully grown. I don't know if you read this, but I can't remember what quarterback it was.
It's Justin Herbert, man.
Was it Justin Herbert?
Justin freaking Herbert, dude, is 245 pounds, man. The guy's put on like 20 pounds, and he looks thick. And it looks like it's like half to 3/4 muscle, man.
It's when you're looking at the age of players and he's an old rookie or he's a young rookie or whatever, I think it's important to remember that a man at that age isn't physically fully mature until 25. Sometimes it's a little bit later than that, and that's why you see in sports like baseball as well. Their power curve is typically like 27 years old for hitters. So it's like, if they're showing potential at a younger age, that's only a promising sign for when their body catches up with them.
Yeah, tell me that dude doesn't want to win. Plus, like when you're in college and stuff, I guess some of these guys can now, the whole name, image, and likeness thing. But I mean, you're not really affording like private chefs. And check this out, dude. So this is Justin Herbert last year. Oh, I guess I got to share the screen first. Screen. Here we go. This was Justin Herbert last year, and this is Justin Herbert now.
Do you still have that picture I put in your Discord of? Dang, dude, yeah, he got big. Of Josh Allen, the one that I put in the Discord.
I'd have to go find it, dude.
Yeah, it's a bit of a meme, but it's same thing where, from his rookie year to like second year looks just big, man. Even the face, right? It's not just the size. That's what it was. CeeDee Lamb.
He grew half an inch and added weight.
Yeah. It's something like that gets overlooked. I mean, these guys are not at their max potential immediately. They might be like as skilled as they're ever going to be, but their bodies are still catching up. Jose Canseco.
Some good value Herbert buys, dude. This is going to be a while, man. That's going to take a while.
Hopefully with all the increased size, he did a little bit of yoga or something, because his mobility could be taking a hit here if he's getting all jacked like that.
Yeah, I mean, but it could be a combination of like, look, he's not maybe he's not doing as much cardio right now. It's more weightlifting and like strength training, and he's not I don't know. And maybe he is going to lean down a little bit once he's running around like crazy out there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And stuff. Maybe maybe he's just kind of maybe he's on the creatine. Maybe he started taking some creatine. So, anyways, man, this has been a wonderful episode. We are at an hour and 30 minutes. Appreciate you guys sticking around through all the technical difficulties, all that kind of stuff. Is there anything we didn't cover that you want to?
We got I feel like we got to share at least one snipe, Andy. We didn't.
Oh yeah. Anything. No, I totally forgot to share.
I sent you one earlier, okay. But we were kind of in the weeds.
I got one. Stuff. Did we share this one? I'm joking. I know we shared this one.
You should message if the guy declines the offer. You should message him and be like, "Bro, can you send it in a standard envelope, and I'll take care of you." You know.
Yeah, we'll send you some juice. This was one that you wanted us to share. It's over on ComC.
Yeah. So if you log in, the price does go down a bit. Honestly,
49 PSA 10.
You know, if he balls out the way I think he's going to do, that should be an easy double up. Let's look at you know what a Justin Jefferson Prism cracked ice would go for, right? Like $350 maybe. If this touches 150, I mean that's a 2-3 times your money. This is a no-brainer, and plus there's the option to make an offer on it even. So.
And it's red cracked ice.
And that's exactly why I sent it.
Cardinals.
So it is not only a player that's hot right now, but it is in his current team color. And it's a 10. So I guarantee that's a low pop, because I'll tell you right now, there's not a lot of graded Marquise Brown cards.
Yeah, that's a great card. I love the price point. That's a total snipe with that PSA 10 slab. And
I will say this: a lot of people have adjusted their prices to account for the market right now. So if you're planning on buying that card, what I would advise is just buy it. If you send the offer, here's what's going to happen, and this happened to me 3 times this week. They're going to decline, and then they're going to notice that the price of his cards has gone up, and then relist it for like $80 to $100. It's happened to me. Yeah. Getting a little greedy on a few offers I made this week when I should have just bought it. It was already a good price. So that
is such a clutch comment, man, because I've had that happen to me several times, and that comment right there was gold, man.
And if this is a card that's out of your price range, there is at least 2 that are under $13. Buy it now, right now, with free shipping. Right now.
Got him.
Been a minute.
Now this one, Steve, is more of a grail
not
card.
For the faint of heart, but I'd like to point out why I sent this card to Andy. I'm sure, Andy, you could probably figure out why.
Well, because it's got shower narrative guys right there, man. Got the boys from Oklahoma right there. Kyler Murray, Marquise Brown, man.
Who are now teammates.
The college connection. And I mean, this could go crazy for them. And let me look at something real quick.
It's out of 7 too. If those guys start connecting, I mean, a Kyler Murray RPA numbered out of 7 might be worth right now might be worth more than that for sure. But if those guys start connecting and they become a thing, that thing's got some serious potential.
All right, so in 2018, when Kyler Murray won the Heisman, Marquise Brown had 1,318 receiving yards on 75 receptions. That was a 25.5% target share, 74% catch rate. I mean, that's really good. So, I mean, we're looking at better than that, because last year with Lamar Jackson, he had over 1,500 air yards, which he converted into 1,008 receiving yards. Kyler Murray's got even better deep ball completion percentage numbers than Lamar Jackson. And especially with DeAndre Hopkins missing the first 6 weeks, I think we're going to see a lot of targets for Marquise Brown. A lot of targets, man.
And I wouldn't expect a fall off, or even a minor fall off of any kind when DeAndre Hopkins comes back. I mean, there's plenty of ball to go around. You know what I
Well,
mean?
no, yeah, because they're complementing players. Marquise Brown's a true field stretcher, but he's not a possession style alpha like DeAndre Hopkins. So, I mean, they're really, really good complements for each other. Yeah, man. No, I'm excited. It's wheels up this year for Marquise Brown. They did it to make Kyler Murray happy. He added the Cardinals back to his social media. He's starting to talk to people again. He's, Cardinals are trying to keep him happy a little bit. They want to keep him around for a few years, man.
And yeah, I saw some people mention the contract thing. I agree. No, I think that's at least a slight concern. But I watched an interview with the GM, and he said that Kyler's our guy going forward. Behind the scenes, he does a lot of hard work and watching tape and stuff like that, et cetera, et cetera. So
that's why they brought Marquise Brown in. They're trying to get. I was joking about him adding. I don't know if he added the Cardinals back to his social media or not.
I think if you look at the last couple of years, I can't think of a situation where like a player of that caliber, they let it really drag on too far, like where it's going to affect them during the regular season. So I think it'll get taken care of sooner than later. And from my understanding, this is more common than not leading up till July or even into the middle of July. So if that's causing Kyler Murray's value for cards to linger, take advantage. I mean, he's going to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. And Rondale Moore, yeah, he's still there, but something – man, I'm on the fence about him, man. He's really electric, but his snap share went down for some mysterious reason. It wasn't injury related. Honestly, he should have gotten more opportunities. When DeAndre Hopkins missed time again at the end of last season due to injury, and there should have been more opportunities for Rondale Moore to go around, but for some reason they decreased his snap share towards the end of the season. It was maybe something the coaches saw that they didn't like. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I don't remember the exact reason, but it was something to do with, not running the right routes and stuff like that. So, he was a rookie, give him a little bit, he's not down and out. He might be down, but he's not out yet. He's on that team. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, that's true. And I think if his prices are very cheap, he is very young, so it doesn't take as much for him to really kind of break out. So it's going to be interesting, and I think we'll be able to see pretty quickly out of the gates like what his what it's going to look like. Let's see what his snap share looks like. But obviously, I think you're going to be looking at more like 60 to 70% snap share for Marquise Brown, and more like a 30% snap share, 30 to 40% snap share for Rondale Moore. You still have AJ Green on that depth chart as well, and they added depth to their tight end department behind Zach Ertz, Max Williams. They drafted Trey McBride, who's like one of the dim prospects.
I love that guy. I remember I was talking him up during our live stream during the draft. The only thing with him is he is kind of stuck behind Ertz a little bit. And as great as Ertz is still a bit injury prone. So I could see McBride making a couple starts this year. He'll definitely, unfortunately, vulture some touchdowns during the year in the red zone, but I don't see McBride, at least unless there's an injury to Ertz, being like a full-time starter right away.
Yeah. Yeah, and Rondale Moore's in serious trouble. If they open up the season and Andy Isabella is more than Rondale Moore, who's also still on their depth chart, then that is big trouble. Watch out for that, guys, at the beginning of the season. That's big trouble. So, but if not, I mean, I think Rondale Moore may be an okay spot and get some opportunities.
I would be curious to revisit this card.
Holy cow, Steve!
Someone bought that Superfractor I sent you. Andy, maybe in like 2 weeks when I'm back, I'd say let's revisit that Kyler Hollywood card and see if it's sold. I'm curious because I feel like someone's gonna take a shot at that thing.
The $1,000 Kyler Marquise Brown one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone took a shot on this one, man. Marcus Mariota on-card auto, 1/1, super fractor, super rookie. Got the retro look going here with the 2015 Topps Chrome. Nice card, man. Nice card. Someone taking a big shot on Mariota, man.
Andy, I have to point out that card's in incredible condition too. That card is in immaculate condition. If Mariota somehow works out, that's a great buy. I mean, that instead of a $1,500, if he can manage to play well for half a season at least and keep the starting job, that's a $3K to $8K card instead of a $1,500 card. Obviously,
that's true, man. With the 1/1.
Obviously, I'm being realistic. It maybe won't happen. He doesn't have a track record as a starter, but this is a what if we're talking about.
Yeah. All right. Oh, I see. You sent me one more. All right, we're gonna. Oh, it's ended.
Oh, the Judy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That was a nice Judy, though. We'll share it with the guys to get an idea where Judy's card ended at 20 bids.
And actually, I can peek real fast and see if I have anything that's ending tonight. If people want to take a swing at it.
I do like the camo design on that, man.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that specific one before. This one might be a good one to share. There's a lot of people watching it, and it's going to be after the stream ends. But I mean, realistically, this is the card you should have bought 3 to 5 months ago when we were talking about buying Hertz. But it ends a bit later. It ends about an hour from now when you will probably have less people taking swings at it. So, Andy, I sent the card over to you.
All right. Yes, you did, sir. Oh yeah, baby. I've been seeing this guy go earlier and earlier in fantasy drafts, man. His ADP's climbing. You know what happens when the ADP starts climbing, man? Those card demands climbing. He's right behind Burrow Herbert in the weekly volume charts. Really, really interesting. PSA 10 here. You got a mosaic. What is this? Green and red reactive.
The gold reactive. Yeah.
They're calling this gold. Well, if it's got gold in the name, get out there, people.
You know what that means? Buy it. But I'll tell you what. To me, the biggest selling point, obviously, aside from the player and the grade, is that green stripe up the center of the card. Perfect. I mean, regardless of the little gold and orange explosion around it, you have like a semi-color match aspect there. I realized that because I was buying Hertz during the year, I have a couple of these mosaics, Andy. I have the mosaic, which is like the silver mosaic.
Mm-hmm.
I have 1 or 2 10s, and I have 1 or 2 green 10s as well that I might have paid, $40-ish something dollars for when everyone was buying the Herbert train last year.
Nice. What do you think this one's going to end at?
I've seen them going for over 100, but I'll say about $90 on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely, whether it's the hype's going to be there for Jalen Hurts regardless going into August, September. And the chances of him actually taking a step forward as a passer this year are actually pretty good. I think he's got some real potential. And of course, his rushing floor is great as well. And, man, we've been talking about buying this guy for a long time. It's going to be nice to actually, we saw the little pop in the rookie season when he first came in. And I was like, oh, man, he broke some people's ankles, but on the jukes. And now he's going to get the chance with the proper weapons and the supporting cast, and the Eagles' defense looks just, looks so good on paper right now. And the schedule is once again very cushy. I mean, it's teed up for him to smash right now.
And, you mentioned a little stat about A.J. Brown, about how he shines in the intermediate to medium passing game. He excels, in fact, in that role, and that's where Hurts excels too.
right.
Let's not forget. I mean, Hurts does have an arm, but the same can be said with Tua. You don't need to have the biggest arm. You need to be able to find your guy in open space because they have playmakers, right? They have playmakers on those teams, and most of those playmakers will generate yards after the catch. They don't all have to be made by the quarterback. Oh yeah, the eBay one of ones. It's kind of a shady tactic, unless if the card is pretty scarce and they're putting eBay one of one, that's one thing. But when it's out of 200 and it's a eBay one of one, it's pretty bad. Ooh, I think Andy turned into Charlie Chaplin over there. Yeah. I think I'm the only one here right now. What's up, guys? I think Andy needs to update his video card too, because it seemed like it worked for me just fine. And what's up, guys? Welcome to the Card Quest featuring the Hitman. What's up, Derek? What's going on, man? Freeze tag. Yeah. I think our computers took turns crapping out. It turned out it was just my video card, despite the fact that it is storming here. I think Andy just needs a good reset.
What's going on here, man? What's going on?
Welcome to the Quest, Andy. I think that you may have not restarted your computer in a while, or your modem.
That's the most energetic I've seen you in weeks, Steve. I'm gonna have to let you run the show by yourself a little bit more often.
I had to step it up, man. I felt the need to, because all of a sudden my big dome was on the screen by itself. So let's see, buy any retail lately. I did buy some retail lately. Unfortunately, it wasn't football, because in Illinois you just can't find football, and I'm being 100% serious. So I haven't bought any football. Too many to see how tidy Steve's place is. LOL. It's not bad. It's not bad.
I got this.
You know what? I take that back. A couple weeks ago, I bought one of a blaster of contenders, and nothing special. I got a Fryermuth patch card, so nothing crazy. So far on my 2 contenders blasters, I got a Fryermuth patch, and I got this fella here. At least it was a guy I like, Justin Fields, rookie ticket patch, which I'll hang on to. So, one thing that, while we're talking about rookie ticket patches, I think it's an interesting point. Andy, do you think there's more rookie ticket patches now with the 2021 product than there was with the 2020 product?
Rookie ticket patches?
Yeah, no auto, just the patches. Or is it just that they're more common by perception because so few people are getting the autos out of the blasters?
That is a good that's a good question, man. I think
I've watched quite a few breaks, hobby box breaks, and I'm not seeing really a lot of the patch cards. But you're seeing almost exclusively patch cards out of these blasters. So I'm starting to wonder. Now, here's the thing worth pointing out. The patch cards, they're not really fetching a ton of money, but they could be a sneaky buy, and let me explain why. I had a Burrow of this 2020, right? This same card from 2020 that I think I bought for $8 last year, and then sold during the Super Bowl for almost $100. That is a 10 times. So worth noting, if you have a player that you can buy a cheap rookie ticket patch of, and they go to the playoffs or Super Bowl, you're looking at a massive markup. Just something to think about.
That's a great point, man. That people still, it's that brand recognition, right? That brand recognition. So.
And, I completely missed Brandon there. Giving us a buy of the week. I didn't send them all to Andy, but I have a bunch of buy it now saved. Rookie ticket. If you can find a red one for Marquise Brown, it seems like they're all jacked up in price already. But any serial numbered rookie Marquise Brown that's red, and here's another sneaky play, Andy. even a 2020 Mosaic Marquise Brown, red, serial numbered. I found a couple on ComC for under $3. If he ends up becoming a guy in the league, it's not just going to be rookies that are going to be valuable. People pay good money for Justin Jeffersons, for DeAndre Hopkins, non-rookies, so that's something to think about. Look outside the box a little bit.
Got to, man. Got to look outside the box. I'm starting to do it more and more, man. You guys have all shown me the way. Show me the way. So I absolutely love it, man. Steve, this has been a fun episode tonight. I'm going to call it here before internet craps out again. And, yep. I mean, dude. But other than that, it's been a fantastic live stream tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back real soon with some fresh, unique content. All right.
Indeed, and I'll catch you guys in 2 weeks. I will not be around next week, so catch you in 2 weeks. And obviously, I'll talk to you during the week, Andy. We'll talk through DMs or whatever. But appreciate everyone who stayed till the end and participated in the chat. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, let's get some underdog drafts going. Maybe we'll do some underdog drafts this weekend. I put up one earlier over on Patreon. I did a puppy draft earlier and just hopped on real quick, put out one. But yeah, let's get some more underdog live drafts going. Let's get some private leagues going. We can do some private $5-10 leagues. Maybe we get
man.
one or two going this weekend. It's just so much fun, man. So
let's go. Yeah. Post up. If you guys aren't in the Discord yet, consider joining. We talk football all the time. We share snipes throughout the week. We do leagues. We do submissions, et cetera, et cetera. It's a great time. So something to think about.
Yeah, check the Discord. I'll put up the private league link for Underdog, and we can get a 12-man league going. I'll set it up in the Discord. You guys hop in. I'll hop on a stream, and we will draft it. Let's do it. All right. Free agent wide receiver. Shout out to Alec. We'll get answer Alec's question right here at the end. I'm going to go ahead and say Julio Jones. I mean, Hall of Famer. He could potentially, hop on the Bucks or something like that. Just buy yourself some Julio Jones because they're safe, and he could potentially still play. You could go Antonio Brown, but he's a little bit more of a nutcase. I'd rather go Julio Jones.
Yeah,
Will Fuller. Will Fuller's another guy. Just throwing a name out there.
I saw a rookie ticket auto Will Fuller go for like around $5 this morning. So I mean that he's a guy that when he plays is unbelievable, but I mean his just can't stay on the field. Maybe he'll have that one season where he actually plays a couple games. You really only need one game to cash in on the hype technically. So, but I think the big thing with Julio Jones is, does he reconnect with Matt Ryan? At this point, I don't think so, but if he goes to a contender, you can see a spike in his value.
And Tom, Kyer Elam is a cornerback. He plays on defense. He's a defensive back. I think the guy you were talking about is Khalil Shakir. Khalil Shakir is and Buffalo's known for prospecting wide receivers. And Khalil Shakir, it looks like he is definitely going to give. They picked up what's his name, Jamison Crowder. So I mean, Khalil Shakir, I wouldn't say necessarily watch out Diggs and Gabe Davis. I think they're safe on the outside. You put those guys on the outside, they're elite out there. But you put Khalil Shakir on the inside in the slot. The Bills throw the ball second highest rate in the league. You put Khalil Shakir on the inside, he takes over from Jamison Crowder and Isaiah McKenzie, kind of like that Cole Beasley role, and he could be super dominant, super productive. He's definitely a late draft sleeper to watch out for.
I think it's worth noting that while you froze, Andy, that Jalen Hurts finished at 71. So pretty good buy for whoever picked it up.
Nice. That's solid, man. That's solid. No, we got you, Tom. You're a good man. Enjoy that salad. All right, y'all. We're out. Peace.
Have a great week, guys. Happy Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, happy Memorial Day weekend, man.